Alrighty, so we are officially underway. Tony coming in clutch, helping me out on the cast this week. Welcome, Tony. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Cannot complain. I think I finally figured out
Hmm.
my webcam issue. I had like four sources all linked to the same webcam, so it was like no
Hmm.
wonder why I always was having webcam issues when I would fire up OBS, but I think I got it figured
Hmm.
out. I think we're good. But yeah, let's talk some football. You ready for it?
I am indeed.
All right. Well, how about you start first? I know you had the two matchups you wanted to talk about off rip.
All right. The first matchup I'm gonna talk about is Drake May's debut, the Patriots, and they played the Houston Texans. Yeah, the Patriots lost, which was all expected, but for the first time in a long time, the Patriots offense looked like
An offense.
an actual offense, like not perfect by any means, but I think I did like what I see from Drake May despite the slow start. And he was just you're just overmatched because Houston's just a better team,
Yeah.
even with Nico Collins out. Like Will Anderson's elite, Stingley's elite. Like
Of
they have a
all
good
people
defense.
you go with, you start with Will Anderson, not like C.J.
He had
Stroud
three
or
sacks.
Steph.
He had three. He had three sacks.
I know, but like, I was expecting you to start with like offensive power, like C.J. Stroud,
Well,
Stephon
I was.
Diggs.
Well, I'm obviously gonna get into that.
I know. I just
But
was.
all right.
I was not expecting the defensive player off rip talking
Well,
about being
the
all mad,
three
outmatched.
sacks is a lot.
It is. It is. It's a hat trick.
Oh my god. All right. So for the Texans side of the ball, CJ Stroud did his thing. He went 20 for 31, with 192 yards and three touchdowns. He did have an interception, which was thrown in the end zone, if I'm not mistaken. Um, the rushing attack for Houston was very good. Joe Mixon was 13 for 102 and a score. He absolutely balled out against us. And Damian Pierce also balled out against us, who went 8 for 76 and a touchdown, including a 57-yard touchdown run towards the end of the game. So that was the Houston kind of had the game in the bag then, but it was still a big run for him. For Houston's receiving, we had Stephon Diggs who led the way with 6 for 77 and a score. Tank Dell went 7 for 57 in a score, and then Joe Mixon went 2 for 30 in a score. So Houston's offense was just a well-oiled machine, and they shredded the Patriots' defense. That's really all there is to it. So Patriots side of the ball, Drake May's debut. He went 20 for 33, 243 yards, three touchdowns, and two interceptions. He also had a fumble. Drake May was also the leading rusher, who went five carries for 38 yards. Not much on the rushing attack for the Patriots, which Houston obviously played defense and stormed the box. They put eight in the box and played the run because the Pats receivers stink. Antonio Gibson went 13 carries for 19 yards, which is a big yikes. Terrell Jennings went five carries for 13 yards. So the leading receivers for the Patriots was Demario Douglas, who went six receptions, 92 yards, and a score. Keishawn Booty went three receptions for 59 and a touchdown. And the third touchdown was Hunter Henry, who went three for 41 and a score. So yeah, this was a there was definitely some bright spots for Drake May, but Houston's just a much better team.
Yeah. I mean, despite what local radio people say, it's like, oh, did my webcam just freeze? No. Um. Yep, my webcam just crashed. All right, I will continue. Despite what like local people were saying, um, I mean, if you're any true, um, if you're like any true Patriots fan, you kind of knew that they were just not going to win this game.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just one of those things where it's just like You just got to see how well the kid does, which I think he did do well. I think his connection with Pop Douglas was amazing. And Kendrick Bourne actually came back. He played his first game.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, my webcam's just absolutely dying, freaking out on me right now. So he, you got to assume it's just gonna get better and better as the weeks go on.
Yeah.
So I think there might be some fantasy value in some Patriot players going forward, but we're gonna have to. It remains to be seen. So
Yeah.
it's something we're gonna have to look into. If you own any Houston players, if you're a Houston fan, you have nothing to worry about.
Oh yeah, that team over there is great.
Yep, you can say that again for sure.
All right, so am I doing the next game, or are you gonna do yours?
Give me 1 second. Let me just see if I can. Okay, good. All right, looks like the webcam is good and fine. So, yeah, I will go into my first game. I'm gonna talk about the game from across the pond. That was not really an English accent, but regardless, Jags versus Bears. This was a one-sided affair. I mean, I think the Jags are quitting on Doug Peterson. So the Jags just looked embarrassingly bad. I didn't see the game, but I was driving home from closing up my summer house a couple states away, so I was able to listen to the game on the radio. Trevor Lawrence did not sound like he was having a good game. He did throw for 234 yards, had 2 touchdowns and an interception. I think he also lost a fumble as well, but I could be wrong on that. Running game was non-existent. Darnus Johnson, 6 for 28. Tate Bigsby, 7 for 24, and he also lost a fumble. The only good side out of the... You'll appreciate this one, Tony, but the only good side out of the Jaguars, fantasy-wise, is Evan Ingram. He had 10 catches for 102 yards. So, Welcome back, Evan Ingram. Gabe Davis had 5 for 45 and 2 touchdowns. So that was actually a sneaky good fantasy performance out of Gabe Davis. But Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas, Darnus Johnson, Brenton Strange, they didn't really do anything. They got absolutely walloped. They're in London again, so it's interesting to see what happens. However, Bears side, Caleb Williams, 23 for 29, 226, 4 touchdowns, did throw an interception. DeAndre Swift had a Lions-esque running day. 17 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Caleb Williams actually scampered for 56 yards as well. Cole Kmet, 5 for 70 with 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 5 for 41 with 2 touchdowns. So good fantasy days out of both of them. Cole Kmet also had to go long snapper duty, so I feel like he would have cooked me even more if he didn't have to play long snapper. But yeah, Bears defense was cooking. They had a bunch of sacks and an interception as well. Yeah, Bears looks like they came into their own. They're good. Looks like Bears. I wouldn't say they're good, but it looks like they're figuring things out. So it's good signs for Bears players and Bears fans. Jaguars. It's going to be interesting. If they lose to the Patriots, I feel like a lot will change.
Yep.
So
there was also some. You didn't see the game. You were driving. I think it was Christian Kirk. I forget which receiver it was. He had a really bad drop. Really bad drop. I think the Jags receivers had like 4 drops. It was awful.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was like what Tony said. I was driving. I didn't see the game, so there's a lot of like little nitpicky thingies that I usually would catch, but I didn't catch because I was on the road again. But yeah, that's the first game I want to talk about. Jaguars. I mean, Travis Etienne got hurt, but honestly, I would, if you own Trevor Lawrence, I don't think anyone's having Trevor Lawrence is like their go-to guy for fantasy. He's a plug and play. But if you have like Travis Etienne, Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, or Brian Thomas, if you can swing it, you might be able to sell on some of them, because I think the Jaguars and a couple other teams, I might reference one in a little bit, I think you should get away from those teams in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be trying to add Bears players because they could be something interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's my first game. What's your second game? Your second game you want to talk about? I think you already said it, right? Or maybe
Yep.
not.
The beatdown in Dallas, the
Oh yeah.
Lions and the Cowboys. So Dallas's run D has been very bad. I'm pretty sure it's like
I think it's worse
I
than the
think they let
league.
up like they're letting up like 200 yards rushing or something crazy. It's like
Yeah.
insane. Their run D has been like historically bad. But which means the Lions offense was ripped them to shreds. Start with the Lions rushing game with David Montgomery going 12 for 80 and 2 touchdowns, and Jameer Gibbs going 12 for 63. Those that combination was just too much for Dallas's interior. And people shit on Detroit for taking Jameer Gibbs 12 overall. People thought, oh, they took him too high, but that combination is lethal, man.
Yeah.
Like you have the power of Demon, you got the speed of Gibbs. It's just lethal. And plus, Detroit's O line is just elite. It's just
Oh yeah.
that combination of both of them is just
Well,
you keep them both fresh. You're reserving their careers. It's just bang bang. It's
well,
just awesome what they're doing in
the
Detroit.
thing was when they got Jameer Gibbs, they had two other running backs on rookie contracts. They had DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson still. So it's like, why are they taking another running back? Clearly, they knew
Yeah.
what they were doing. But at the
Well,
time, you're just like, you got two other rookie contract running backs. Why are you getting a third running back?
I'm pretty sure they signed Demont that year and then Swift. I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah, I think they traded away Swift. On Johnson's contract just ran up, and they brought in Demont. So they were just like, it was just like all that in like a 2 month span. So it was just like a lot of moving pieces. But the Lions hit on that piece. They
oh
hit
yeah,
a home run on that one.
yes they did. So let's start about the passing attack for Detroit. Jared Goff had another nice day. He went 18 for 25, 315 yards, and three passing touchdowns. The
Should have
leading
been
receiver
four.
was Jamison Williams, who went three
JMO.
for 76 and a touchdown. Oh, and second was Khalif Raymond, who went 4 for 73, and Tim Patrick, who went 3 for 68. Those are the top three receivers for Detroit. But two of those players did not score. Sam Laporta only had one catch, but he made it count. He had a 52-yard touchdown strike. So that's big for fantasy. He salvaged. Amon-Ra St. Brown only went 4 for 37, but he did score. So he also salvaged. And then Jameer Gibbs went 3 for 28. This was just an absolute beatdown. Detroit made it look like they were playing a Pop Warner team. Like it was just it was just a complete domination.
At
It was like Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam.
2013. Yeah.
Yep.
Despite Cena winning. To hammer home the fact, their left tackle, the guy who usually comes in as the eligible O lineman, Dan Skipper, literally lined up in the two slot. Like you know what I mean? Like he lined up where Jamison Williams normally lines up, and then they did a hook and lateral to Penei Sewell in the game as well. They were
Yep.
it was like the varsity football team going up against the middle school team. It was like, this is embarrassing.
Oh yeah. Dallas looked like a deer in headlights. It was very.
Yeah,
It was not great.
on Jerry's birthday
Um.
too.
Yeah. Tough. So for Dallas's side of the ball, Dak went 17 for 33, just over 50%, which ain't great. 178 passing yards and two interceptions. Then Cooper Rush saw some dirt. He didn't do much. He had 46 passing yards and a pick. And the biggest issue I think for Dallas this year is they don't have a run game, and the receivers other than CD aren't good enough. So I think they're just doubling CD, and it's working.
Oh yeah,
their offense. And
absolutely.
so yeah, that was a very dumb decision making Zeke Elliott and Rico Dowdle. They could have got someone better, even if not. People say Dehen, they should have got Dehen. Yeah, they should have, but they could have got someone better than the two bums they have at running back. Um. So yeah, Rico Dowdle only had 25 rushing yards, and Zeke went 8 for 17. Zeke doesn't really belong in the lead anymore. He's just been he had that hip injury. He's just not the same. I don't think he belongs in the NFL anymore.
No,
Personally.
I agree with you. If anything, he's just like that third down, like the third option guy. Like if someone gets hurt, he can plug and play. I mean, they let Tony Pollard go, but like Josh Jacobs, Saquon, even DeAndre Swift, uh,
Yeah,
Derrick Henry, Gibby, Austin Eckler, like
you
Zach
got to get
Moss,
some.
Aaron Jones. There were so many running backs they could have grabbed, but they're like, let's just bring back the old vet who knows the system, which was just their biggest mistake.
Oh yeah, terrible decision by them. So the receiving side of the ball, C.D. Lamb for the Cowboys went 7 for 89. He has yet to have a 100-yard game because they're just doubling him.
Yeah.
Jalen Tobert went 4 catches for 43 yards, and then Rico Dowdle went 5 for 30. Yeah, Dallas is a mess right now, despite being they're 3-3. Like I
Yeah.
mean, it could be a lot worse, but they just don't look good. They're just out of sync, and their lack of running game is really hurting them.
Yeah. Um, I I agree with you on everything. I agree with everything you say. What you're saying. However, what I think they just need is I just think they need their bye week, which is right now, which is actually perfect timing. Like I do think they had like they're good enough. Like they're what I mean is I don't know about Brandon Cooks if he's healthy or not, but like I just think they needed the bye week just to kind of hit the reset button because Dowdle has had some fairly decent games. Ferguson has had some good receiving days as well. I just think it was just that type of team where it's like, we need a bye week and then a get right game, which I don't know if they're week eight's their bet get. I think they actually have, um, I think yeah, their next game is against the Niners, so that's gonna be tough. So the Niners, Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Commanders, Giants. So
I mean,
they have a
the
rough
Niners,
stretch.
the Niners are not what they used to be. I mean, they're not.
No, you're right. You're right. The Niners are not what they used to be, but they also have had some good days. So it's like, I mean, Jordan Mason, if he's healthy, like their run game's good. They can still Brock can still throw the ball. So I think
Yep.
I mean, if the Cowboys had a game this week and then face the Niners, they're porked. I think this bye week is going to be really good for them, fantasy value wise. I'm not gonna say sell on Cowboys yet. Like I think the CDs, the Jake Ferguson's, Dak, like I think you could still keep them. You're just gonna have to make sure you like for like Ferg and Dak, just make sure you're like playing them the right week and benching them the right week.
Mm.
CD you just got to keep in because he's gonna have one of those games. He's due.
Yeah, he
He's due
is.
for it.
Yeah.
Like he has.
No.
There, there's plays during the game. You see CD trying to do everything he can, and he chunks like a 20-yard like catch. But like last season when they had more offensive depth, that's a 45, 50-yard play. But it just
Yeah.
this they're favoring CD's zone so much, like he can't get the separation.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then Lions players, if you have them, you're loving it. I don't think you'll be able to get any of them in trades. However, I do think Tim Patrick. I've seen an increasing role with Tim Patrick this year. So I actually picked him up because I have Jared Goff. I think he's going to have a pretty good role throughout the rest of the season. He's not going to be getting 12 targs, but I think he's going to be getting like 4, 5, 6 targs, and he's going to capitalize on it. He's made some great catches last week. He only had like 3, but one of them was spectacular. Another one was like over a defender. Like I think Tim Patrick's role is increasing with the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got for that game. Do you have anything else you're gonna add in?
No, that's it for me as well.
All right, perfect. All right, the next game I'm going to talk about is two teams where I think you should sell on both teams. Browns, Eagles. Browns are a nightmare, and they just traded away one of their best players in Amari Cooper. D. Watt, he gave up on the team. 16 for 23, 168 yards. Jerome Ford got hurt. He's probably going to be out for a few weeks. Pierre Strong was 8 for 43. He also had a couple catches. Where is it? He had 2 catches for 35 yards. So, like, he kind of made do with what he was given. Donta Foreman's still bad, 10 for 31. Receiving side, Amari Cooper, 4 for 20, 4 for 42. Jerry Jeudy, 1 for 35. Njoku, 5 for 31. It's just like Browns are a dumpster fire. They have yet to score 20 points this year. However, the team that did score 20 points, the Eagles, didn't look that great either. Jalen Hurts, 264 for 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, he had 18 rushes for 47 yards. A.J. Brown, 6 for 116. That was a good day with a touchdown. Good day from him. Grant Calcaterra, 4 for 67 because Dallas Goedert pulled a hammy and did not return. Devonta Smith, 3 for 64 and a touchdown. Jahan Dotson got a catch too. Jalen Hurts, I think you could sell high on him. Saquon, you got to keep. AJ, you got to keep. I also think you could probably sell pretty high on Devonta Smith if you got a person hurting. If you got a person who, I don't know, maybe drafted Nico Collins, Rashee Rice, Deebo Samuel, a person who did that where one's done for the year, one's out for a month, and the other one's always on the injury report, they might buy on Devonta Smith because they just need a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But
absolutely.
I don't know if you know anyone who might have drafted those 3 guys.
I don't know either. It's a big mystery.
But yeah, I mean Saquon and AJ Brown, yeah, keep. But all the other guys I mentioned for the Eagles, and then pretty much if you could get any value for trading away like Njoku, Jerry Jeudy, I would try and trade them away because it'll just help your team, I think. But yeah, that was another dumpster fire game. The Eagles head coach was like chirping his own fans, like, "How about that one? Like, dude, you barely beat like arguably the worst team in the league. So like, what are you chirping the fans about?"
Why would you if you're coaching, you're gonna get shit on. That's the gig.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the gig.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you do bad, you're gonna get mocked. It's the gig.
Yeah, no,
it's just what it is.
I agree with you on that one. But yeah, that's all I got. I don't know if you want to add in anything else on that.
Yeah, I think the Eagles coach is terrible. I think they should have got rid of him and just brought in Bill Belichick.
I don't know. I think Bill low-key kind of wanted a year off. Because I think
I don't know. He's doing 70.
I know, but he's doing a lot. He's on the Manning cast. He's done some college game day stuff. I think he's enjoying the year off, but I think he's gonna be like Gruden. Like if he goes to a game or something, he's gonna get that itch and he's gonna want to coach again next year.
I saw this thing on. Sorry.
No, all I was gonna say is I think he's enjoying his time, but the minute he steps like near another field, he's gonna get that itch and want to coach again.
Mm-hmm. I saw a rumor since Brady's like a part owner of the Raiders, they might get rid of Antonio Pierce and bring him in. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That would be really crazy. Yeah. But yeah, all right. So moving forward, let's look forward to the week we're about to have and talk about our bold predictions. So last week, bold predictions were. Yeah, I mean they're okay, but actually before we even do that, let's talk about our studs and duds. I almost forgot about that. Let me start with my 2 studs. First one is Chris Godwin, 11 for 125 and 2 scores. Have a day. I mean, it was Mike Evans versus Marshawn Lattimore. I thought they were gonna get ejected. I don't think they did, but that's why I said That's why I was like, I jokingly texted a few friends saying, "You got to hammer Godwin." Sure enough, Godwin had a day. So that's my first stud. My second stud is Chris Boswell. He's definitely been a stud before. He had 17 fantasy points. He is automatic this year. He is kicking everything through the uprights.
Yep, indeed he is.
But yeah, who are your 2 studs?
My stud is Derrick Henry, who had 24 carries, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. People thought he was going to be like not good this year. I don't know why, but he's been the best running back in the league, like by far.
Yeah.
He's just been killing it.
I'm
He's just in a good offense. Like him and Lamar, are like bread and butter. It's just a perfect fit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I was one of those people. I had Derrick Henry last year when he was home for the Titans. He had a pretty good day. When he was away, he was non-existent. When they went down early, like if they were down by 7+ points by like midway through the second quarter or halftime, he got written out of the script. So I just thought he was just getting old, but I was wrong. He's still got plenty left in the tank.
Oh yeah, that was a good signing by the Ravens.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And who's your second stud?
My second stud is the Buccaneers defense.
Yeah.
They did let up 27 points, but they had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown.
Yeah,
So they did a lot of things.
So the funny
Spencer Rattler's debut, he did score, but he was rattled.
Yeah. The thing with the Tampa Bay the Tampa Bay scored 51 points total. They also they only let up points in the second quarter of the game. The first, third, and fourth quarter they didn't let up a single point. So they kind of cooked. They cooked that on Sunday.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's talk about our duds. I'm gonna talk about my first stud first. With arguably the most buzzy waiver wire pickup of the season so far. Brian Robinson goes down. They've been running 2 to 3 running backs. So, Jerry McNichols, he's been doing pretty well in the 3 running back committee. There's one less now. So, you got to imagine he's going to cook with Austin Eckler. No, he touched the ball twice, only had 9 yards. Jerry McNichols, 0.9. If you're in an ESPN league, or if you're in a standard league, he bageled for you. I got an honorary bagel out of him with 0.9. Absolute dud. Terrible buzz read. Was not worth the fab. That's my dud of the week.
My dud of the week got injured basically the first play of the game. He got concussed and fumbled and was out. Chris Olave. I have him. I finished with -1 points and he got injured, missed the game, and he's not playing tomorrow. So
I
know it's injury, but
by principle it is a dud. But you owning him, it adds more to it. So that's why I didn't say pivot, choose someone else. But I understand and respect your decision. But yes, he did get hurt, so it's not a true dud. It's just an unfortunate dud.
Yeah.
But I respect the answer. All right. So, bold predictions. Good looking forward. Last week was kind of wishy-washy with me in the little triple threat showdown I had with me, Morris, and Miano. But this week, bold predictions of the week. Tony, what do you got?
My bold prediction is I'm gonna be very biased. My bold prediction is I think the Patriots not only win, I think the Patriots not only cover, I think they win outright. I think Patriots money line is the play. I think the Jags are gonna lose, and I think they're gonna get rid of Doug Peterson.
All right. My bold prediction: Bills defense 2 scores.
All right,
They're facing Tennessee. Will Levis has had a very interesting season.
That is fair. Buffalo is big faves for a reason.
Exactly. Which leads into my bet of the week. Buffalo -9. Which is -110. That is my bet of the week.
All right. My bet of the week's is the parlay separate?
Yeah, your bet of the week can be part of your parlay, but it's just a single bet right now.
All right. My bet of the week is Bengals money line against the Browns.
Do you know what it was at? Was it like
-240, I think?
Okay. All right. I respect it. So yeah, those are the bet of the weeks. If you want to win some money, those are the bets. Speaking of winning money, so Tony, I don't know if you caught the cast last week or not, But going into week 6, the Simulcast bankroll was at -$7.51.
Mm-hmm.
The bets have been either not hitting or pushing. We were in a deficit. However, yes, there was 3 people talking this last week, but oh boy, we're back in the green. So we went from -751 to +474 with our
Mm-hmm.
bets of the weeks and our parlays. Little recap. My bet of the week, Texans Patriots over 38. That hit. Morris's bet was Bijan 100 plus rushing receiving. That hit. Miano was Zay Flowers over 4.5 catches. That hit. My parlay, which is Raven Commanders over 52. That hit. That first leg hit. Second leg, Falcons over 29.5 points. That hit. Third leg, Colts -1. That hit. That was a +760. Morris and Miano's parlay, we don't want to talk about that. But with those bets of the week and the parlay, we skyrocket into the positive. And with our bets, Tony, this week, we're going to go even further into the positives.
Oh yeah, yeah we will.
So, speaking of positives, I'm going to talk about my first parlay. Well, my 3-way parlay. First leg is Kamara 100 plus rushing and receiving yards. No Olave, no Raheed Shaheed. He's literally going to need to pull a Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. So that was -175. I was tempted to go 125 plus, but I was like, I'm going to stick to 100. So Kamara 100 rushing receiving combined -175. The second leg is Demont anytime, which is -185. And the third one is DK Metcalf anytime touchdown. He's due. He's had like 3 straight weeks where he scored, but they called it back. I think he strikes this week, which that leg is +110, totaling the parlay at +408. So that's my 3-way parlay of the week.
All right. So mine is a 4-legger.
All right. So you got a three-way beef with the side of fries. I respect it.
Yep. My first one is I think the Patriots are going to win, but I do have Patriots +5.5. That's their line right now. I think that's.
Do you know what the?
I think it's a good line.
I like it too. Do you know what it's at?
-108.
All right, perfect.
Lions +1.5. I think they beat the Vikings. I think they're going to smash them.
Okay.
That's at -108 as well.
Okay.
Eagles -3. They're playing the Giants. That's 118, -118.
So it's Eagles -3 and -118.
Yes.
All right.
And then Bengals money line at -245, and the parlay is +864.
Oh wow, that is a good parlay, and I actually like all 4 legs of it. I think the Patriots gonna win this week. I
do too.
I firmly do. I think it's gonna be a good week. Lions, that will be I mean, honestly, dude, that's gonna probably come down to a missed field goal. So that plus 1.5 is a great pick.
Oh yeah.
Eagles -3. Giants are interesting. So I mean, Eagles will probably win, but I think that -3 I think is good because they'll probably win like 27-20 or something like that. And then Bengals money line, they won last week, correct?
Bengals, they did win. Yes, they did win.
So yeah, I think they string two in a row because I think they got they had a really good game but lost, and they won. I think yeah, you're right. Who are they facing again?
Bengals, they're playing the Browns.
Oh yeah, easy money line pick.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
That I really like your legs on that parlay. I can't wait for all 4 to hit because we're gonna be so far in the green. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, let me take a quick gander at your fantasy matchup this week. Who are you facing?
I'm in bye week, Hill. I'm probably gonna lose.
Yeah. Oh, and you're up against the 1 seed too.
Yeah. I have CD and Keenan on bye, and then I have Olave is dead.
Yeah. That's.
I'm starting 2 waiver wire pickups at receiver right now.
Yeah. Hey there, Quentin. And then what was it? The
Um,
Michael Wilson. You got the stack.
yeah. Yep, I do.
Oh, that's tough because he's got Burrow and Jamar against Cleveland.
Yeah, I kind of.
I mean,
Yeah,
well, Malik and James Cook. Who knows what about them? Uh,
there. I think. I mean, one of them's gonna play. It still doesn't.
yeah, he's got a 9 point advantage against you. I mean,
It should be a little higher, if
yeah,
we're being
Joe
honest.
Burrow v. Kyler. You gotta lean Burrow. Chase and Neighbors versus Quentin and Michael Wilson. You gotta lean Chase. Although if Kyler has a good game, Michael Wilson will probably cook too. Speaking of
Yeah.
cooking, James Cook and Joe Mix versus Kamara and K Walk. I think you got that matchup one. Um,
Yeah.
Hunter Henry versus Evan Ingram. If Evan Ingram is healthy, oh, actually, they're actually facing against each other. I think that's a wash, actually. Brian Thomas Jr. against Gibby. That'll be interesting. Butker versus Dicker. I think Butker actually is probably going to get more points than you would expect this week. And then Houston versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh D is as volatile because they Jets just got Devontae Adams, so
Yeah.
Pittsburgh D could flop.
Oh yeah.
Houston D against Green Bay will be interesting too, but we'll see how
Yeah.
that goes. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be an interesting matchup for you. Do you want to kind of like scroll through my matchup and what you think?
Let me do that.
Mind you, I am on injury hell. I have
I'm
lost.
on. Well, I'm on bye week hell, but
Yeah,
Olave being out killed me.
I mean,
All right.
I,
Let me.
you know, what I mean, I just,
You projected a win. Come on.
I know I'm
Um,
projected to win, but like, look at some of the names I have out there.
I know, but I mean, projected a win's projected a win. All right.
That's true.
Goff versus Cousins. I would go with Goff. You have Jared Goff. Your opponent has Kirk Cousins. Devonta Smith and Jamison Williams. Oh, that might decide your matchup.
Yep.
It's gonna be versus Demario Douglas and Ray McLeod. I'm gonna lean him for that.
Makes sense.
He has Chase Brown and Jameer Gibbs. You have Brees Hall and Aaron Jones. It's kind of similar to my squad. Like running back to the strength. Yeah, I'm gonna give that edge to you. Oh, Njoku versus Kyle Pitts.
That's gonna make or break the matchup. Are the tight ends gonna do anything this week?
They're kind of the same player. They're gonna have one game they do well, and then they're just
Yeah.
I think that's a wash. Debo versus Zay Flowers. I'm gonna go Debo Samuel. If he plays, but I think he's going probably knock on wood. He's probably going to.
Randomly came with like his arm like went like he like went off the field with an hurt arm of no reason last week. Monday, Tuesday, nothing. Today, wrist injury. So I'm like, what is going on with Debo?
Well, the good news for you is Aaron Jones apparently is going to practice tomorrow. So
yeah,
that is good for you.
he was in the Monday walkthrough, so I was happy with that.
Yeah. You got you have what's his name? Austin Seibert versus Boswell. Boswell has been a little better, so I might go him. Even the projectometer leans Seibert.
Against Carolina.
Buffalo versus Denver. I think that's a toss up. Because Spencer Rattler and Will Levis, basically good matchups. You just hope one gets another turnover than the other. It's really it.
I just hope Alvin Kamara has a big day.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm sure you do too. I'm actually really high in Kamara this week. I'm not saying he's gonna have a 6 touchdown day, but I think remember when he came back from injury like a year or two ago, and he just literally ran the ball 15 times and got 15 targets receiving. Like he might have one of those days.
Yeah.
Wow. Tony, you just picked up Los Angeles defense and dropped Los Angeles defense.
I did. They're playing the Raiders. They have no doubt.
Wait. You aren't the Raiders the Los Angeles Raiders?
Vegas Raiders.
You're right, Vegas. Oh my gosh, it's Chargers and Rams I was thinking of. Oh my god, I was just so confusing because it just says Los Angeles and Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
I was so confused for a second. But yeah, no, it should be another good week. We got London football. Did you hear the news from Goodell? we're gonna have a Super Bowl in London.
That's crazy.
I don't know
I don't
when.
know how I feel.
I,
What are they gonna? When are they gonna do it? If they do it at night, it might be like 1 o'clock. A 1 o'clock Super Bowl.
no, they'll probably have the Super Bowl start at like 8 o'clock, so it'll be like a 3 p.m. Super Bowl for us.
I thought London was like 6 hours ahead.
5. They're only 5.
Live. Okay.
And then
No,
it's
2 o'clock. That's still the same. You could like. People are gonna like tailgate for that stuff. You're gonna be at people's houses at like 9 a.m. grilling steaks and burgers.
well, no, it's in London. They're gonna be doing like fried peas.
I'm talking about us, not them. We do food correctly.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like London tailgating. I was like, that's fried peas over like
us.
over like fries,
Like-
but they call them chips.
Us in like backyards. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna be.
I mean, they can't really have it too late in London. I think maybe they'll do a 9 o'clock start.
Yeah, maybe.
But like, even then, it's like 4 o'clock in the East Coast. It's like, so I don't know when that Super Bowl is gonna be. They might even do like a Saturday night Super Bowl there. I don't know, but like, it's like that's gonna be
Saturday Super Bowl.
yeah, like oh my god, I don't because like you could do it later. You could have like a 9:30 or 10 o'clock start on a Saturday. You can't really do that on a Sunday.
No, I don't think they'll do that because of ratings.
Yeah, that's true. But well, the thing is, it's like the ratings coming from the U.S.
I know, but like,
Yeah,
old people are gonna want to go to bed. That's why it's at 6:30.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's gonna be interesting when that happens. I think Super Bowl London. Yeah, it doesn't say, but I think he wants to expand the NFL into into Europe, but he also said like he said like there's going to be games in Ireland and it'll happen soon and he was also talking about a Super Bowl in London, but he didn't really announce when it would be. So that's kind of cool to like think about and look forward to.
Yeah, it'll be different for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that I think that's where a good spot to call it on. I'm excited for this week of football. You know, we're in the thick of the season now, so I'm super excited.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, so hopefully I don't have 2 people get hurt and not return in the first quarter this week because I will be 3 weeks in a row that will happen. Well, 4 weeks in a row if it happens this week. I'm already on 3 weeks. Rasheed, first quarter, 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was Aaron Jones and Nico Collins in their first quarter game of their games, and last week was Goddard and Jerome Ford. So I'm praying to the fantasy gods. Please, no more injuries.
Yep.
So
they can be ruthless sometimes.
yeah, you're telling me. Fortunately, I still have a good record as of right now, knock on wood. But it's just, you know, when you see the questionable tag at 115, you're like, oh, okay, so that's how this week's going to go. But,
Yep.
all right, dude. Well, thank you so much for last minute coming onto the show. I really appreciate it. Made this week a lot better than going solo, so I cannot thank you enough, Tony. So once again, thank you.
Yep, not a problem. It was good to be on.
Of course. I had you next week, but if you want to take the week off, that's fine. I totally understand. But I'm sure I'll talk to you this weekend.
Sounds great.
All right, dude. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. So that is where we are going to call it. I hope you guys all have a good one, and I will see you all in 1 week. As always,